middle. Again, Benny. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Every time we start a video.
Well, since you know I don't keep it clean, you should clean it up.
We are, first of all, in Benny's kitchen, and at the same time, you guys just came into our family live Zoom. We have our chef Cristina.
That we do every single Sunday.
Every single, imagine seeing us every single Sunday.
That's such
a privilege.
No.
But it is a way, I mean, you can actually talk to us because we have the community here, and so you'll just get to see us. You're not going to see what Cristina prepared, and you're not going to see what Mama Juliana, what our mom is going to prepare after. But wait, let's just say...
That is so delicious.
That's very important. Cristina just prepared like this fried vegetables, and it's very, very important. Wow.
That's Cri, I want to come over.
Yes.
Diving tight into the
screen. To
put
the salt at
the end
of the frying.
Because if not, they get soggy. Yes, let's hear the crunch.
Sentito?
Sì. Oh.
Cri, with a glass of prosecco, it's perfect.
So we'll drink and you eat. Cheers to you. And cheers to you.
Brava, Cri.
Hey, beautiful, fantastic.
Brava, Cri. So now it's Benny's turn. You should know that Benny never makes risotto.
I know. No, out of all the things tonight, she decided to make risotto. Yes?
Mamma, hai detto qualcosa?
No, I can't believe that she never made risotto.
No, okay, so I make risotto not in the traditional way that risotto should be made, but
please,
I will show you.
Please don't tell us, Benny. I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
So
for you, try the sage.
The sage. Wait, shh. Let's hear the crunchiness.
We heard the crunchiness. I hate you, Cristina. I'm hating you with all heart, but I love you.
So, for our family, we have two cameras. One looks inside the pan, and one looks at us.
Well, but they have to see what we're doing
But
anyways.
of course, Benny. But wait, let's get started. Yes, is it sort of? So let's start. There you go. We're going to be making a risotto.
So wait, you're probably wondering what this horrible thing here is. My sister started yelling because I had absolutely nothing to offer her, so I had these things. So I'll just remove them.
Yes, Benny, because she offered me these. Well, let's not get into the detail. Anyway, this is just for the community. You see us from there. We're going to be making a risotto. So first thing is, what kind of rice do you use to make a risotto? There are two varieties that we use the most, which is called carnaroli. This is carnaroli. It's a white grain. You see?
It's
white grain, very starchy, or arborio. Both are great.
Yeah, and both are specific for a risotto.
We're going to be making a risotto with dry mushrooms, okay?
But tell them what mushrooms. We're making risotto with dry porcini mushrooms. So we had to soak them in lukewarm water for half an hour at least, and that's what I did. And now we're going to remove the mushrooms from the water. I'm going to drain the liquid, and we're going to be using it because it's packed with flavors you have no idea of.
Why do you drain the liquid of the mushrooms? If you drain
because they're from soy.
You have to use a very thin strainer, fine strainer, or if not, you put like a paper towel. What we're going to be doing is, as the base, we're going to add butter, okay? This other piece of butter, we are going to put in the fridge for the very, very last moment. So you see how the butter melts? Benny, why don't you take it?
Why don't I remove this? What you want?
I want you to remove, if you could, please. Try it. Okay. Now what's happening here? We are melting the butter, okay? Because we are about to start the most important step when making a risotto, which is called mantecatura. If we're going to be toasting for a bit this risotto, this
stuff
rice.
is called mantecatura?
No, I'm sorry, tostatura.
Ah, okay.
Did I say mantecatura?
Yes.
No, tostatura.
I know 3 things, but this is not one of them.
Yeah. Why do we toast? Look, I'll show you. So we're going to be putting the risotto in here. And for a bit, you have to toast the rice. Why is this step very important? Because if you start adding liquid to the rice, it's just going to be boiled rice. So this is sort of going to seal. Ciao, Cheryl.
Cheryl, what are you doing there?
So we are going to seal the single grains so that it gradually releases the starch, okay? So it's not going to be boiled rice.
We're not going to put it higher?
No, it doesn't have to be too high. I never used an induction stove, but you can, at a certain point, you can hear.
Remember, you hear...
Yeah, it takes a little bit. This is the very first and super, super important step when making a risotto. Okay? You can also put oil. I like to use butter because
But risotto is mostly butter, because the northern part of Italy, where risotto is typically from, has butter. Nobody, if you lie on the floor, they can't see you, so let's just lift up. Stand up.
But they're not going to see the risotto.
Well,
I don't think they care about this part of my body.
Hello.
Hello.
So risotto is typically from the northern part of Italy, where they use more butter than extra virgin olive oil, and so this is also important to know. And yeah, apparently la tostatura is one of the most important steps of risotto, and this is something that yes, if you can hear it.
Okay, let's put it back here. In the meantime, another very, very important ingredient when making risotto is vegetable broth, because we're not just going to add the liquid, and we're going to add the liquid just about a finger above the level of the rice. So it's one of those dishes that you cannot go and take a shower in the meantime.
No,
You
that's
need
why
to-
I never make it like this. It's too much, it's too long.
You need to be here because it needs your attention. Okay? What you're going to be doing is you're going to continue adding, as you want it to cook, you're going to continue adding the hot liquid. In this case, we're heating up. Did you strain it? Yes, you did, right?
Of course I did.
So we're going to be heating up
Have a little bit of
the liquid
trust in your
of the
sister.
porcini mushrooms so that it adds that flavor. Now we're going to be adding the soaked porcini.
Oh gosh, the aroma is amazing.
Okay.
What do you want first? The broth that you prepared or the liquid of the porcini? The broth?
Whatever is boiling. It needs to be boiling hot. The liquid you're adding, usually a vegetable broth, but you know, it needs to be boiling hot. If not, it lowers the temperature.
Yeah, this is boiling hot.
And this is how you do it. Well, you could have gotten a smaller one. Is it? And you're just going to continue adding the liquid.
All you have to do is ask. I can give you a bigger one.
You have a bigger one?
Of course I do.
Well, then why don't you give it to me at the beginning?
That is not what you want.
You see one many.
Ooh.
And so you're just going to have it cook. You're going to be adding the liquid until it slightly covers the rice. How long does it take to cook risotto? Approximately 15 to 17 minutes.
Question. Salt?
Yes. It also depends what you're going to be dressing it with.
Here?
Yeah,
Or you have the salt already in the broth? That's
exactly.
also-
It depends. We're using a broth that I don't put too much salt on the broth. I usually, since you know, I cook every day for the family, Do I enjoy it? Not necessarily, but I love to have them eat great food from scratch. So what I do, I usually in my crock pot, but that's
I do the same.
a whole new
That's
episode.
that's a whole new chapter.
Okay, I'm going to lower because it doesn't have to like boil in a very strong way. But you see how you just continue turning it?
Gosh, the smell is unbelievable.
And so I usually like to cook with big batches of whatever I'm cooking, and then freeze it. So I had broth. I'm gonna turn this way. Can you see?
Yes, they can see.
Okay, wonderful.
It smells unbelievably
So
good.
I'm telling our community, you guys, if you have questions,
Ask us.
please let us know.
Ask.
Benny,
What?
it has to be here all the
Put
time.
it back to get warm. Here.
Gosh, the patience with somebody who does not know how to cook.
That's that. Don't. That is not true.
Sta ancora scaldando.
I see. That's
So
not
you
true.
see-
I love to cook, but I just don't make this. I don't know why I never make
Well,
risotto.
now that you see how easy it is,
It is. And I love risotto with porcini mushrooms, with pumpkin. I actually do love risotto. I don't know why I never make it. I know.
but it is this is very important. You need a lot of patience to do this. A lot of patience. But it's really, I mean, once you know those two tricks, one is toasting, the tostatura at the beginning. The other one, I spoiled it, was the mantecatura, which I'm going to tell you later. And that's it. You just have to, because this way, as you turn, as you're gradually adding the water, the hot boiling broth, water, whatever you're using, you can use a meat broth, you could use a fish broth. Imagine
See, a
how
risotto
many
with.
things
See, with.
you could do this with.
Fair.
So it gradually releases the starch.
Avete visto che bellezza?
Brave!
Grazie! È uscito tutto. Levati.
I feel the smell of porcini.
Right? I know.
It's incredible, isn't it? But I think we should mix it together.
Lascialo qua, tanto questo è quasi finito.
Lo mischi insieme, no?
Ok.
No?
Wow, this really, that's why you reuse the water that the porcini soaked in. So I wanted to say something to our YouTube friends. In the description below, we have just added
Oh yes, this is something super.
a very special gift for you. But I think you need to look at our face.
Yes, but can I add
Oh,
a
but
little bit
when
more
you have to
broth?
look at Benny, this is Benny's first time pouring and turning risotto. Please, please,
Quante stronze.
please. I mean, this is Benny's first time stirring a risotto.
Yeah, because I usually do risotto in a pressure cooker, and I just don't
You've
do all
done
of
very
this.
well.
Thank you so much for recognizing this. I mean, really, she is just terrible, and I have to put up with her all the time.
A question: when the rice is done, you leave a little bit soft with the water, or have to be very dry?
No, it does not have to be dry because the risotto needs to be creamy. And
I
then
knew that.
I will show you how to serve it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Do I add more water? When do you know when to add more water?
You know, Benny, I was gonna start, but let me
Oh
put
no,
the
no,
camera
no, no,
back
no,
down.
tell him,
No,
no,
but yours, I mean, surprisingly, your question is very smart.
Thank you.
So you see, it's just slightly covers. You guys also here on the family camera here.
Non si vede il riso.
Sì, devi
No,
guardare.
devi spostare la telecamera. Tu sei sul cellulare, move.
Devi spostare. You see how it just slightly covers the water, the rice, and so you just add one spoonful, what is this called?
Broth.
Ladle.
Yes, 1 second. For the community, there is one camera that is put on the risotto, so you will see just this, not our beautiful faces, but just the risotto. So my question was very intelligent. Bobby answered.
But this is something that I wanted to share with our YouTube friends. So if you go and look at the description below, hello Bobby, we are just saying something to YouTube. If you go at the description below, we just did something that we have actually never done before.
Yes.
There is for Christmas until the 24th of December, and
Only for 50
for 50 people only,
That's it.
you get 25% off of the first month to see what our community Casa Local Aromas is all about. Okay, so just the first 50 people who click and subscribe to the 1 month subscription plan get this gift.
And it's something that I personally think, and not because we're part of we've it's our baby, but it's really cool. I mean, you
It's
guys
really
are
cool
gonna love
because
it.
not only do you have access to our entire Italian online cooking school, you also access our community where not only do we share about food and wine, we also share about the Italian culture, the music, the movies, the language, and all of that. Now let's go down.
It's super active. I mean,
It's
we
super
really
active.
do a lot
So
in there.
really, we wanted to be super generous, but it's for the first 50 people. Now back to the risotto. Hello, Bobby.
Ciao, Bobby. We're making risotto. Sure.
So with our community, we are live in Zoom because we want to talk to them. In YouTube, we unfortunately don't have this opportunity. Hello, Cheryl.
Ciao, Cheryl.
What the hell? I'm on both of them.
I know. Yeah, you should just. Well, because on YouTube, we're just going to be showing how to make risotto. In our community, Cristina showed how to make the antipasto. We're making risotto, then Mama Giuliana is going to be making
The secondo.
the secondo. And you guys should be very excited because this is Benny's first
is-
risotto.
Yes, I never make risotto, as Valeria has highlighted it more times tonight. No, I never make risotto, or if I make risotto, I definitely don't make it how it's supposed to be made. Christina yelled at me once, too, at her house.
We don't want to know how you make it, Benny.
I just put all the ingredients in the pressure cooker and I cook it for 8 minutes.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
just horrifying. I
is.
understand.
When you cook, it is very, very important to taste. So here, I think you need to add a little bit more salt.
Also because this is real salt.
So you put the amount that you think, but don't. It's best to add more because then we're going to be adding Parmigiano, which is salty.
It smells
But-
so good.
It still needs more liquid in it.
Do I get the plates?
It would be nice. Ma quello piano, eh?
Oh, but obviously. Would I ever serve the risotto in a bowl?
I don't know. I love risotto. I make it at least once a week with whatever is in season. Well, risotto, I see risotto a little bit more like a winter sort of.
risotto once a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because we eat pasta every day, so we eat a primo every day. So, since we're eating a first course every day, we can always be having pasta. Okay.
Well, it's still that's still has to cook. It's very watery.
Again, the rice that we used is either carnaroli or
Arborio.
arborio. We used carnaroli. You guys have both? Did you find both carnaroli and arborio in the US?
Cheryl, did you find that thing that we were looking for last week? What was it that we were looking for last week?
What were we looking for?
The milk. You found it? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I had to. In fact, I was in the store and I was asking just people that I knew. Nobody has heard about it.
Really?
But yes, but the employee did. Now I thought it would be over by where our almond milk and stuff is. It wasn't over there at all.
Where was it?
A different section, near where the cereal is.
Oh,
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah, top shelf, and I found it, so I did buy some. So
Great.
Great.
Now you have it.
now you can make your Vov, your Zapaione liquor.
What are you doing?
I'm tasting it.
Oh, okay.
So that I don't have to put the spoon that I put in my mouth back. Had you ever thought about that? You see? I'm doing this so that I don't have to put the same spoon.
That makes perfect sense.
Grazie. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt.
Yes, the salt doesn't salt.
How often do you guys make? Do you guys ever make risotto? Mama, how often do you make risotto?
I have
You do?
Uh,
How often, Cheryl?
maybe a couple times a year, not that
Okay.
often. I even found a recipe where you can bake it.
Bake it.
Yes.
Yes.
You heard the same thing? Okay.
That's from down south, no? Where you bake it like the entire risotto in the oven?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yes.
Isn't
the
that
Very
pilaf?
good.
that's pilaf rice.
And it turns out, I mean, it's
You cover it, you put broth, it cooks for 20 minutes, right?
But
yeah.
you wouldn't use this kind of
No,
rice.
you wouldn't use this kind of rice.
You
You
use
put the double of the water.
yes.
I did.
That's how they made it in Venezuela.
No, it's if you go in the Italian book, you found this one.
Ma non è pilaf?
See, exactly.
I think pilaf is Italian, you know. I don't want
But
to lie.
pilaf is the same. After you can add, you can make with mushroom, with radicchio, whatever you like.
But what rice do you use, Mama, with pilaf?
Cannaroli,
Carnaroli?
yes, it's fantastic. 20 minutes in the oven.
Oh, well then we'll have to add it to our online cooking school.
I'm not 100% sure it's an Italian recipe.
I don't
If
know.
I would remember, I made once.
No,
for
because
the
I love
family,
pilaf. I
with
do it often, but I don't remember if it's Italian or not.
radicchio.
See, and you never touch
Right.
it. You just put it in
Well,
the
that's
oven.
your
and you
recipe.
It's my recipe. That's why I've done it. Yes. No, I'm a very, 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 very patient person. I mean, my patience is beyond. I have very high levels of patience, but risotto,
Well, risotto, I do think, I do like it because
no, maybe because I've never done
it's
it.
relaxing. Because, you know, after you've been running around all day, you just have to stir and just find the right creaminess. Because you see, as if you,
Miss B is here.
ooh, if you look, I mean, we're putting in this mixture of broth and actually the actual water of the dry porcini that we use. And as you cook it, you see in this camera over here, right? You see how it turns creamy, and so I just find it very relaxing because if you do this with, oops, my glass always seems to be empty. If you do this, as I like to have a glass of wine as I'm cooking more than at the table when I'm at home.
Well, that's the best part.
Yeah, it's just like putting an end to your day.
Joan.
Hello, Joan. And we're almost there.
Dun, 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 dun.
You see, so you just have to have that
Patiently.
yes, that patience.
No, the aroma is unbelievable. I mean, it is so good.
Do you guys have any questions on risotto? Hello, Joan.
Ciao, Joan.
Hello there.
You can see how summery it is on your side of the world. Here we're with sweaters. Is it hot?
No, it's very hot. We're having this, crazy heat wave. It's been like this since Halloween,
Oh
Really?
wow.
and it's unbearable. I mean, I'm sitting here with a big fan on top of me.
Yeah, we can see your hair blowing.
But that's how it was this summer in Italy.
How hot is it? And wow, in Santiago to be that hot, it's not usual.
Yeah, it's like 34 degrees.
Oh,
Okay.
And I think I missed, I don't know if I came in on the wrong time. I saw it's 4 o'clock. Well,
Yeah.
it's 4 o'clock your time, right?
yeah. Well, today instead of making it the usual time, we started a little earlier because we were making 3 different recipes. So Cristina started with fried antipasto.
So she made this. Look at that. She made
But
this.
then I'm going to be sharing in the description in our community. I'll share all the recipes in the recording. But I want you to experience.
She wants me to experience this. I never make risotto. We're making a risotto with porcini mushrooms, and since I never experienced it,
Va bene. Ci può dare.
It was,
So again, it's sort of gonna be al dente. It's gonna have that little slight crunchiness to it. We're almost there. This is the third time I say it.
Can I add a little bit of prosecco? I think it would
Not
look
now.
really
You
good.
should have done it before.
Okay. It's good.
When risotto is ready, it's not gonna have to be dry. It always has to be. You see how creamy it is?
Wow.
Because you're not gonna be serving it right away.
No?
No.
We're not going to eat?
Yes, but you have to do the second very, very important step. Remember, we had some extra butter that we put in the fridge. Again, we need that thermic shock at the very end to turn this dish even creamier.
Oh, it's an evening of shocks.
Yes.
Christina did this batter for the vegetables and she added ice cold beer for the thermic shock. Now we're doing risotto. We're going to be adding butter for thermic shock. Is it ready?
So it does have that bite. I think you added too much salt.
Now it's my fault.
Well, that's the only time you did something with this. So, what are you going to do? You turn it off. You turn the stove off at this very last step. Senti un po'. You need to give it like 2-3 minutes before you serve it. Okay? You add cold, this is like cold butter. Okay? And you stir, so this thermic, and this is called mantecatura. These are the two very important steps. So the stove is off, and you add parmigiano,
Which is always a good idea.
which is always a good idea. You see? And you stir, and you have all that creaminess come out. Again, this is another, here, Carnaroli or Arborio would cost like $3-4. But I mean,
Can
like,
I add some pepper?
yes. The serving, let's talk about the serving size. For pasta, it's like 100 grams per person. For risotto, is usually 80 grams per person. We obviously put 100 because we're hungry.
Yeah, but there's no
So
other
you
fruit.
see, the risotto is served and it's not dry, it's creamy.
Now, if you have parsley, it would be wonderful to add a little bit of parsley on the risotto with porcini mushrooms because it's great, but I was too lazy to go down to Mom's house to get it, so no parsley for us.
Where's that?
Where's the mestolo?
What?
Can I do at least that?
No. Look, I want to show you. You serve it and
Basta.
you
That's
serve
too
it
much.
flat. So it opens. So you see it's not dry. You can add another sprinkle of parmigiano, and Benny is going to be the official taster. Hold it, I'm gonna put up the camera.
I will sacrifice myself. Look how beautiful. So then you take it from the outside because the inside is boiling hot.
You see?
Very good. In under 20 minutes. Delicious.
And it's so simple.
Thank you.
So we're gonna finish eating this. At least we have dinner. And now, Mamma Giuliana, ci sei, Mamma?
Yeah, yes, of course.
I'm gonna finish in the other room.
Okay.
Mamma Giuliana is going to prepare another Christmassy secondo.
Vitello tornato. What?
Vitello tornato.
So you guys, let me sit right here in front of Benny's Christmas tree. I'm always here at Benny's house. So we just finished showing you how to make a risotto. Remember, there are two very, very important steps when you prepare a risotto. Well, first of all, the type of rice, arborio or carnaroli, because you want a white grain, super starchy rice. And the very first step is essential to getting the risotto just right, and it's called tostatura. So you put a little bit of butter or oil, and then you need to toast the rice so it seals, okay? And then you start. you start adding the hot broth or whatever liquid you're going to be cooking it with. And the final step, after about 15, 17 minutes of gradually adding spoonfuls of water, is the mantecatura, which means that you're adding butter. You turn off the stove, you add very, very cold butter so that thermic shock makes the risotto even creamier. And then you add parmigiano or whatever cheese that you want. So before I say goodbye today is actually a little shorter than usual because I have to go back to our community. I wanted to tell you again that to join our community, we did something very special. My sister and I, as usual, last minute, we decided to do this. Only 50 people, 50, will have the opportunity to join and subscribe to our 1 month subscription of Casa Local Aromas at 25% off. So the first month you get 25% off, so you see what it's all about, what our community is about, what our Italian online cooking school is about. So in the description below, we put the link, we put the code, which will be active starting today until the end of our Advent calendar live, so until the 24th of December. Okay? So it was wonderful, wonderful being with you on day 11 of our Advent calendar, making risotto. And I hope to see you in our family soon. Ciao, ciao.